Good morning, all. This is Pawan from USMLE Sarthi. Welcome to our live stream on YouTube. Hopefully, I am audible. Let me know if you guys cannot hear me. But we will get started. We got a lot of questions, so I'm just gonna, go through those questions. Uh, well, we did get a high schooler. Very good. Vamshi is a 12th grade student who's just joined. So welcome. So I will go over the questions that we received as part of this live stream first, and then I'm also looking at the screen here to see if you guys had any other questions. So the first question is from Faria, and it is that some programs fix a score above 220 in step 1. So is it wise to apply to these programs if I have less than 220? So our general advice on these kind of situations is that you can definitely go plus 10. So let's say your score is 210 on step 1 and the program says 220. You can definitely take a chance. You can apply and see what happens. Plus minus 10 here and there is okay. Then the next question is from USMLE 2020, saying that I'll be applying mainly to pediatrics residency programs with a 2 months of USCE and 2 US LORs in pediatrics. I also have 1 month USCE and 1 US LOR in neuro. And the applicant is saying, apart from peds, I'd like to apply to more programs to enhance my chances of matching. What should I apply to, IM or neuro or both? I do not have any USC in IM. So the thing here is, of course, we don't know your scores. We don't know the year of graduation. There are several other factors that can help. Now, neuro needs research in most cases. The 1 month USC in neuro or 1 US LOR may or may not help, especially if you are a recent graduate. It could be helpful. If you're not, then it's going to be a tough ask. Most programs are now looking for relevant experience and relevant LOR. So they have moved away from a backup specialty kind of a mentality. They understand that a lot of students use neuro, peds, etc. as a backup. So we recommend being ready with at least 2 to 3 LORs and with the relevant experience at least 2 to 3 months. Neuro, when it comes to neuro, a lot of research is needed. Okay, now let me read through some of the screen questions. Step 1, 240. Mayur is asking. Step 2, 227. 215 graduate, 2015 graduate, no USCE. What are the chances? Well, you still have a couple of months of USCE left, right? So if you can get something in August, get something in September, you still can do it. Your step 1 is good. So even if you were to apply, and get here and get the USCE, you could have a good chance. Our philosophy here is, since you already have the scores, what is the point in waiting for next year, right? Worst case scenario, you will not match. So that is the worst case scenario. But on a best case scenario, even without USCE or late USCE, if you can get an interview, why not try for that? Now, Rukhsar Khan is asking that I'm already in a Caribbean school. I'm done with my basic sciences, thinking of transferring into a US school after I get a good step 1 score. Do you have any experience where someone did something successfully? To which university? We don't know and we cannot share the student information, but in general, I've not seen this from Caribbean to US. Possibly, it can be done. I don't know if many students have done it. We have to go through the student record, which we cannot share. But I'm sure if you want to do it, this will help your case. Then we have another question from Surbhi. ECFMG certified 2018 year of graduation, permanent resident, so all good. Step 1 and CK are clear. but CK is a second attempt. USC more than 6 months in family medicine and want to apply only to family medicine. Is family medicine worth my profile? Should I do research? What are my chances? So yes, given your recent year of graduation and the fact that you don't need a visa, you're a green card holder, family medicine would be a good shot. Try getting experience in primary care, preventive care. Uh, you have an attempt, so strong USLORs are very, very important. It should show commitment to family medicine. Uh, you know, research can help you. It is never going to be a waste. Focus on research which can be done in preventive care. So, not, for example, cardiology research. That may not help you. And then we have a question from Vamshi. What is the scope of an IMG matching in OB-GYN? I think we have several questions on OB-GYN, so I'm going to take that as I go through the list. Sachin Kumar is asking, can you share any diagnostic radiology program who give observerships to IMGs and give interviews to students who rotate with them? So there is another question on DR as well, so we'll take that. For the list, we are going to make something available in the next few days of all specialties where we have gathered information from students. So, we'll keep you posted on the list, but it is coming very soon. Mayur is asking, my visa got denied in April. I canceled my CS exam, so I'll not be able to apply this year. I can only apply for next year. The thing which is hurting me is old graduate and low step 2 score. Well, if your visa got denied and you are in India, I think the best thing to do there is to get a lot of clinical experience, plus try to get some research experience sitting in India. That will obviously add to your experience. A low step 2 score, things happen. As soon as you get your visa, come here and do strong USC, probably in a hospital setting. Okay. All right. Let me keep going down with the questions that we have. Karan is asking, I think, a similar question. Diagnostic radiology, scores of 250, 260, 3 months of USCE, but only 1 month in IR with no research and 2019 graduate. Is it possible to match in diagnostic radiology categorical? So obviously you have excellent scores and credentials. You should definitely try. Research is important, but it's not a deal breaker for a recent graduate. You will have to apply to prelim programs in some cases, of course. Not all radiology programs are a combined categorical program. So make sure to apply to prelim as well. And, if you want, you can keep a backup for this year. Otherwise, you can go ahead with diagnostic radiology. Ruxar is asking, do you know if an IMG can match into plastic surgery? What kind of research should I engage in such interest of my field? It is definitely possible, but do look at NRMP statistics. It is very, very less, the number of IMGs that can match. And yes, research is one of the key things when it comes to these kind of specialties like plastic surgery, and to some extent OB-GYN and all. You really need to pick a university where they have residency program. It will take time. 1 or 2 months of research may not help you. Excellent scores, high scores, and then research is the only way to get through these specialties as an IMG. But I do request you to go to the NRMP and download the data on the number of IMGs matched in plastic surgeries. Nandini is asking, if I become attending in IM, then I want to go do surgical specialty. How can I get clinical electives as I'm already graduate and an IMG so that I can match in surgery? So I think the question is, can I first do a residency in IM and then do surgery? If that is the question, yes, you can do that. Although, of course, you've got to factor in a lot of time, 3 years in internal medicine and then the surgery. So it's going to be very, very hard, but it is doable. I'm doing my junior resident or juniorship in medical college hospital. I have experience of 1.5 years. My aim is internal medicine, so yes, you can match. Chaudhary Shadmani is asking, what are my chances of matching? Year of graduation 2013, exams passed first attempt 251, 244, 235 in step 3. You have, and you're a US citizen, so you have excellent chances of matching in internal medicine. I think if you play your cards well, if you do your IRAS application well, in the personal statement probably explain about the gaps, you should be all set. You will get interviews, but remember, interviews is where the rubber hits the road. There are a lot of pitfalls in the interviews, so be prepared. Okay. Can we do research in general surgery while I'm doing residency in IM? It is allowed in the sense, yeah, you can get into touch with the faculty and surgery faculty, and you can do it. It is definitely allowed. There's no such rule that it's not allowed. Sachin Kumar, do people match in prelim, med, and advanced radio programs in the same year? Well, so you have to apply to both programs, prelim program and the advanced program. Let me make it very clear. So there are two separate matches. Now there may be some programs which are categorical. You don't have to apply separately, but in general, there are prelim programs. You have to get accepted in the prelim and you have to get accepted in the advanced program. So yes, in the same year, our students have done it. They've applied to prelim, they've applied to advanced. So 1 year they do prelim and then they do advanced. And our students have also done the one shot categorical match, and you can actually read about it. Let me give you our testimonial site, so you can actually read about it, some of the diagnostic radiology and some of the other testimonials. Manasi is asking, does it make sense to apply for match in December? Should I wait for SOAP? Well, Manasi, it will depend on the profile, what scores you have, year of graduation, gaps. If you're ready, why not take a chance? January is when you get a lot of interviews, cancellation interviews. Why wait just for SOAP? You may get lucky. And if you get lucky, you can get calls earlier. Ruxar is asking, if I get excellent step scores, research, and good LOR, does year of graduation matter much in this case? Year of graduation is a very soft filter, okay? It can be overcome by the step scores, excellent LOR, so yes, it may not matter. Clinical experience in general surgery, Nandini, there is no other way. As you're a resident, once you get the residency, then you can work with your hospital to get that clinical experience. Okay, if you are doing an IM residency. So Sachin again is asking about the prelim and the match here. There are blogs on our website that I can point to after this. Let me actually give you the blog site. We have explained the different types of programs and how you can apply to these programs, including the prelim and the match. So look for a blog. Here is the blog site, USMLE FAQs, and you can read all about the prelim and the advanced program. Does UMass offer clerkship for IMGs if my college does not have the MOU? Akhilesh, I do not know that. You have to check with your program and UMass what their policy is on MOUs on clerkship. Okay. Let me go back again. As you can see, I printed the questions. If you don't have questions for now, I'm going to read through the other questions. This is from Apurva, doing anesthesiology from India, ECFMG certified, step 3 in December, applying for match. Scores are 204 to 11, but of course, home country residency in anesthesia. And they want to know their chances. Well, home country residency is a very good plus for any specialty, especially anesthesiology. Now, anesthesiology needs research as well. This is what we have seen, very strong LORs, US research, about 6 months. We have seen a lot of our students do it, and they match successfully in anesthesiology. Again, it's an advanced specialty, so you may want to do a prelim or look at those programs as well. We have seen some visa issues that typically prefer a green card, but with a home country residency, why not? I think you have a good chance. Could you please give some tips on networking during a conference? Well, there are a couple of blogs that we have posted, but in general, networking during a conference, you obviously, there are various aspects to it. So you have to be ready with a copy of your CV, so several copies of your CV, not the IRAS CV. Professional dress, if you want to have business cards, that's fine. Research the programs first that are coming. You may not get the names, but you may still get the programs. There are separate sessions for students. There are many chief residents. There may be many program directors also. There are upcoming conferences for family medicine and even psychiatry. So, it is one of the best networking tools, these conferences. Definitely prepare well, read about the program, and don't be shy at the conference. Soumya is asking, I went to a Caribbean school, but my school does not do clinicals in the US. Where does that place me? Well, Caribbean grads do have a good chance of matching, but in the end, it comes down to US clinical experience. If your school does not do clinicals in the US, then, and if you cannot do electives in the US, I think the first thing is to figure out where you can do electives. Maybe you can go to Canada. Many of our students have done electives in Canada. They are very well respected electives, very comprehensive. If you cannot do electives, then I think focus on externships, hands-on after graduation, but it is going to be a challenge for you. The Caribbean colleges are preferred because they can do electives in the US. Okay. Some of the other questions, Lisette, Salvador, questions about OB-GYN residency. Step 1, 230, step 2 CK 227, step 2 CS is passed. Preparing for step 3, 2 months observership in pulmonary critical. Doing observership with OB-GYN 2015 graduate green card holder. No research, no publications, just studying for USMLE in the past 2.5 years. So chances for OB-GYN are tough in the sense that OB-GYN really needs a committed mentorship. So you need to find a mentor in the US where you can do research. Home country residency helps, but this is not a deal breaker. You can actually match in OB-GYN. Several of our students have matched, but it really needs a committed 1 to 1.5 year in research. It is not going to help one observership here and there. So have a backup. Family medicine would be a good backup. If you want OB-GYN, you really have to research with your green card. I think you will have a good shot at OB-GYN if you do research. How can I apply for any research? Mayur is asking, any vacancy for research, and this time you have to go to the individual program's website. Now, of course, we do, as part of our advisory to our students, we tell them how to do all about, where to go for research. We have classes on research. So you can look up our courses. We advise our students in terms of how to look for research, how to do well in some of these things. So go ahead and take a look. Otherwise, you will have to go for the individual kind of websites. So yes, Ruxar is responding to the question to Soumya. Yes, electives can be done anywhere. If you can do it in the US, why not, right? Let me keep moving. I have a lot of questions to answer. If you have any other questions, obviously feel free to type. Questions from Hema again on OB-GYN, home country residency in OB-GYN. What are the chances? I think I already answered. Then she has she does not want to waste her time just waiting for OB-GYN if there are options. Yes, so family medicine is a good option. A lot of our students who have home country residency in OB-GYN, especially from India, we work with them on backup options as well. They do match in OB-GYN, but as I said, it is not easy. Family medicine is a good one. We don't know your score, so hard to say what other options you can have. Are hospitals in Illinois IMG friendly? Yes, IMG friendly. Many hospitals in Illinois are IMG friendly, of course. Mansi is asking, should I get business cards printed for the conference? Why not? You can. That's a very professional thing to do. What is the best way to hand them over? Well, it depends on the situation. You have to hand them over, but I think it's more about striking a conversation. It is not about just going to someone saying, hey, here is my business card. So you have to understand who the other person is, why are they there, how can they help you. So ability to strike that kind of conversation, which part of it which we teach in our classes, is important. So you should be able to do that, and then handing over card is just it comes naturally. Zahara is asking if someone fails a step exam and clears it on second attempt, is it wise to continue with the step journey? Yes, of course. There are many of our students as well who have matched, and the testimonial link is right there here, who have matched with attempts. So there is absolutely no need to give up. Match is definitely possible. Many students have done it. Obviously, depending on the other aspects of profile, maybe step 3 kicks in, maybe your research, USC, etc., will kick in. So yes, match is definitely possible. Let me also, just since I got a question about our services here, I am going to give you, some of our team. Many questions have come up about who we are, what our team is. So there's the URL where you can see all our teams. So there's AMGs, IMGs, Caribbean grads, journalists. So you can see how we help. And here is a link to our services on Residency Match. So Nandini is again asking about general surgery. Do I have to have externship in general surgery? Of course, if you can do electives, go for it. If you cannot, yes, take what you get. Many of these places do ask for some kind of a fee. So yes, it could be expensive. Even electives you may have to pay. So yes. Deepthi, welcome. I recently got my USMLE scores, got 208, failed with 1 point, wondering if I still have a chance. So yes, as I mentioned, people do match after step scores. Look up our testimonials. There are a lot of people who match after attempt in step scores, or step 1 or step 2. That's fine. What you will need to do is, based on your profile, you have to work on some of the areas that could be weak. So maybe you have to take step 3, maybe you have to take more USCE, maybe it is about research. So, but yes, there are failures in step 1 or CK, but it is okay. People still match, right? Now, Sami has a very important, interesting question. She says, or he says, I'm from Bangladesh. Does it matter if I get an LOR from an India, Bangladeshi, Pakistan doctor? That's the first question. So here's the thing, right? If it's a hospital where you are rotating, yes, it does not matter. All top hospitals you can go, and nationality does not matter. In general, if you go to a clinic not affiliated with any hospital, so if you're a Bangladeshi, go to a Bangladeshi physician, then it could, the program director is bound to think that maybe you knew him or her, it was a networking connection and you haven't really worked hard. So avoid that if it is in a small clinic unaffiliated with any hospital. But of course, every LOR has to be very strong, very customized, very personalized. Then the second question is, most programs look at graduation within 5 years. Should I bother to these programs since I'm more than 5 years? So year of graduation is a soft filter, as we keep on saying. Good scores can overcome them, so you should call them and then check in with them. So thank you, Divya, for your kind of thumbs up to us. If you have questions, feel free. Suman Raj is asking, step 1 is 220, step 2 CK is 240, CS passed. What programs should I apply to get matched? So there are lists. Obviously, you can do your own research. I'm assuming you're talking IM. We don't know the visa and the year of graduation, so all these factor in. You can make a list of programs. We provide a list to our students as well, so check out our services. How many programs should I apply? A typical IMG, not less than 100 programs. In IM, we say about 150. So something you have to look for. Definitely never go below 100, okay? What should we answer if we are asked in the interview, did you write your own LOR? No, of course not. You cannot say you wrote your own LOR. Is it okay to write the LOR if attending tells you to write it because she is very busy, etc.? Well, that's an unfortunate reality. A lot of attendings will say, yes, write the LOR. We recommend you send them bullet points and let them frame it because, it's a question of style. It can easily be picked if a student applicant wrote the LOR versus the attending wrote it. So we advise sending them bullet points. We of course help our students in all this. But yeah, if you want, you can send them bullet points. Is PTAL required for programs outside of California? No, that seems to be new. From what we know, PTAL, even in California, is going away. Outside California, no, there may be other state-specific requirements, but definitely not PTAL. But maybe there is something else going on. I don't know this question. During the ranking, can we rank categorical followed by preliminary, etc.? You can rank in any order, but as I mentioned, you have to definitely match in preliminary if you want to go in the advanced program. Again, look for the blogs that we have. There is a blog we did on preliminary versus advanced. I'm again going to give you the link here. Read this blog site, ask your questions here. Of course, you can ask on YouTube right now or otherwise, but this blog is very useful. You can also submit your blogs here. Then another question from T. Dot. I'm a Caribbean recent grad, step 1 214, currently studying for CK exam August 8. What score should I aim for? I'm scoring 215. Should I delay? Well, depends on if you delay, how much score. So CK score is important, right? If you think you can move up to 240, maybe you can delay it. But otherwise, if you're a recent grad, you are a US citizen or a green card holder, we suggest applying as close to September 15th as possible. Don't delay it too much. If other things are in order, maybe September 30. You still will have a good chance, assuming you did your rotations here, you have a good USC. Divya is asking an important question. Let me get to that. Do LORs from Indian medical schools have any value for USMLE? It depends on your profile. If you are a recent graduate or you have home country residency, it has value. You should definitely have one of it. If you are an old graduate or gaps, then it won't really matter. So have personalized, customized LORs from US doctors in that situation. Okay. Rini is asking, old graduate 2009, home country work for 5 years, gap of 3 years, 2 months USC by September 15th, CS exam on September 12th, won't be ECFMG certified by September 15th, permanent resident. When should I apply? Well, you should still apply even if it is late, as I just mentioned. Only if you apply, you have a shot at the program. So you should apply. Uh, what are the areas, programs I should apply to? Obviously, there are states that are IMG friendly. We expect and we advise you to cast a wider net. There are videos that we have on the most IMG friendly states. So look for that on YouTube itself. Uh, Number of programs, as I mentioned, anything less than 100 125 is a no. Definitely for an IMG in internal medicine, and especially a 2009 graduate, more than 150. Now, of course, there are other specialties that may not have that many programs, so you can do your due diligence, of course. There's a question from House MD, home country IM LOR versus urology director IM focused LOR. Which one should I use? Well, in general, the IM focused LOR from a US urology director will have a much more value. As I said, also depends on year of graduation. If you're a recent graduate, maybe the home country LOR will work. If you already have three strong US LORs, then probably you can use a home country as a fourth one. If not, the urology director LOR, may work well. How many programs should I apply? Same kind of question. It depends on the scores, visa, year of graduation. Definitely not less than 125. How many LORs can be submitted for the match? This is from Nandini. LORs, you can upload as many as you can. There is absolutely no limitation to the LORs, but you can assign only 4 LORs per program. So, if you have 4 strong LORs, you can upload all. The other thing, and this was another question that we got, was should a family medicine LOR be applied to pediatrics or IM? So programs look for specialty specific LORs. So if you're applying to IM, we recommend 3 IM LORs at least. Family medicine, same, and pediatrics, the same kind of idea. The specialty specific LORs will help. How much money should we have for this match season, including traveling for interviews? I think we do have a blog on this. Go to this blog site that I pointed to. But in short, you have to consider the following. If you have taken the steps exams, then you have to do some rotations. So nowadays, these rotations, for example, probably 1,500 to 2,000. More or less, you can assume about 600 is the living expenses per month, even if in a shared, kind of accommodation. So rotations, and then of course the application fee, depending on the number of programs, you can calculate that application fee, and then travel for the interviews. That's another, for if you're going out of town, if you have to fly, which is more expensive, maybe 1,000 per trip. So it is going to be not cheap, but we do have a blog. I think if you have taken the step exams and you're looking for everything other than the step exams, maybe about 15,000, including application, travel, observerships, all that. Okay. All right. If there are any other questions, I'm around. Ask now, because I went over all the questions that we have received so far. Any other questions? We are happy to take it here at this time. Otherwise, we'll wait. Okay, Hema has a question. H4EAD, any help? Yes, H4EAD as of now is, you don't need a visa. Every program should accept, and you kind of increase the number of programs you apply to. Absolutely. H4EAD is opening up a lot of programs. So when you apply in the RAS, there is a section, do you need visa? Are you on H4EAD? You will be eligible for more programs. T-Dot has a question, a 4-year gap due to health and family problems, but I did step 1 214 in 2007, step 2 CS 2018, CK this year. How to overcome this in my CV? Well, a gap is gap. if you were in a home country situation, if you were in your home country, probably you did some volunteering. If you did some volunteering here, always good to mention that. But otherwise, gap is okay. People start families and all that. It's more than covering the gap. It is what you should be doing now. So make sure you are clinically active, do a lot of rotations if possible, hands-on activities. You will be expected, I think, if you are applying to IIM for a step 3. So show them that you are now back in business and that you are really serious. Rotations, step 3, all that will help. If your situation was such that you can articulate it in the personal statement, that you should do. You did all your rotations in the US and Canadian, so US rotations help. Unfortunately, even Canadians will need a visa, so that if you had a green card, that would have been easier. How was your USMLE journey? That's a lot of things on our website. You can go and read about all our students. I think their journey is very important, and a lot of blog sites. But it is an easy journey. It requires a lot of hard work. That is what I can tell you. You can read about us. About between now and December, about 16 hours, you can do it. A lot of hard work and planning goes into it. Okay. But every year about 7,000 IMGs start their residency journey, so it's not something you guys cannot do. Other questions? Earliest date to submit application this year is going to be, as usual, September 6th or 5th, I think. The programs don't get to see your application till September 15th. So any application submitted between September 6th and 15th is postmarked as September 15th. You can, take any time between September 6th and 15th. If a research paper is under review for publication, we could include it on our CV. So there is a separate section for publications which is already published. If it's under review, I guess you can mention it as part of your experience that you've submitted this research paper. All right, there are no other questions. Hopefully this session was useful to all of you. All the best for your match, and keep the conversation flowing. Let us know how we can help. And of course, I gave you the blog site. I gave you some of the other resources. Ask us questions. And if there are anything else on other YouTube videos, we'll be happy to help you all. All right. Thank you all, and good luck to all of you.